I'm Tionia Gladney with JHSTheWarning, and we are back again on game day to interview Coach Coleman. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
You had a tough matchup against Conway last game with a slightly controversial call that could have changed the outcome of the game. How do you feel our players will respond going forward after that loss?
Well, I mean, I think that anytime there's a close, hard-fought game, losing it's tough. Any loss is tough, but a close one is tougher. Yeah, there were a couple calls that didn't go our way, but that wasn't the reason we lost. We didn't make enough plays. We had chances to put points on the board, and we didn't do it. Anytime you have first and goal from the 5 and a first down at the 17, and you don't come away with points, then you lose by 7, it's on you. It's not on officials or anything else. Now, you know, one of these days we're going to start catching some breaks, but when you're on the road, you typically don't get those. So, you know, hopefully it's going to be nice to be home tonight, be home next week. So hopefully we'll get a little bit of that home cooking.
Talk to us a little bit about your offense against Conway and how our offense will look moving forward this season.
Well, I mean, we had several mental busts against Conway. We tracked mental errors, and offensively we had 21 mental errors. And those are things that we can't do. And the most frustrating part was a lot of them were on third down or on critical downs and critical situations where we needed to put points on the board, and we couldn't do it because of mental errors. The physical errors you can live with. It's the mental errors that are tough, and that it's harder for you to watch the film later and see those happen when you know the guys are capable of doing better. But a lot of it falls on me as the coach. You know, obviously I didn't have the guys prepared in the right manner to make those plays, and we've done a good job in these 2 weeks, and we've had 2 weeks to work since Conway to fix those mental errors.
Now that you are starting conference play, what are some teams in our conference that we should look out for?
Well, one thing about our conference, every team is tough. You know, the next 7 weeks, you know, right there in a row are going to be really, really difficult, starting tonight with Mountain Home. You know, obviously there's the perennial powers like West Memphis, Pine Bluff. You know, Marion's kind of coming back and playing really good football. Those stand out, but you cannot overlook, you know, Searcy and Sylvan Hills who made the semifinals last year, and then Mountain Home and Jacksonville are all extremely tough. So we got a work cut out for us, but we really, really love our guys. They work really hard. They're really good players, so we think we got a good chance.
Our defense held Conway's 7A offense to only 14 points. How do you think our defense will perform in 6A conference play?
Well, I think they're going to continue to do a lot of the same things. You know, anytime you can control the line of scrimmage, you've got a chance to do well. And our defensive line is playing really, really well. You know, the guys, you know, JHSTheWarning, Jordan Flanagan, Nate Light, David Milton, Ryan Cranford. You know, those guys who have been heavily in that rotation on the defensive line have played outstanding football this year. So, you know, there's no reason to think that they're not going to continue to do the same thing. And if they do that, it makes it easier on the back end, you know, for the guys in the secondary for sure, and at linebackers. So, you know, I think they're going to continue to do well. You know, every week we go in with 2 or 3 game plans to combat the differing things that they can do offensively. And I think we'll continue to do so, and I think we'll play well.
Do you think the mentality will change for our team since we are transitioning from a tough 7A team to a 6A team that struggled a bit last year?
No, I think our mentality stays the same. You know, the one thing we like about playing Catholic and Conway in non-conference is, you know, that tough 7A opponent prepares you well for the conference play. And we don't need to overlook anybody. And, you know, no matter what Mountain Home's done in the past, what Mountain Home's done this year, if you watched the game that they played last week against Nettleton, you know, they outgain them. They lose 28-26. Had every chance in the world to win that game, really outplayed Nettleton for most of the game except for the scoreboard. And we know we got our work cut out for us, and we can't overlook anybody. We got to take it 1 week at a time, and I know that's a little cliche, but I think that's the only way we can approach it and be as successful as we want to be.
Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Come support the JHS football team at our first home conference game tonight at 7. And also make sure you tune in next week for Homecoming and Spirit Week events.